Now, as a people, do we keep God's commandments?
We try.
We try?
I try.
What commandment do you know?
Thou shalt not kill.
Thou shalt not kill. Okay, and you say you keep that?
Yeah.
Did you used to gangbang? Did you?
Nah.
Are you married?
I am.
You are?
Yes.
Okay, good. Is putting somebody to death the only form of killing?
One more time?
Is putting somebody to death the only form of killing?
No.
What's the other form of killing?
Putting somebody down, telling them something negative can kill them.
So a lot of our people think thinking twerking on social media is positive, right? So if I tell my sister, hey sis, stop doing that, you making yourself a hoe, is that putting her down? But that's how they gonna take it. So are you killing them? Are you killing them?
Well, truth hurts. You know what I mean?
The truth hurts. Exactly. So let me give you a commandment right now. Give me Exodus chapter 20 and verse, you know what I want. 21 and verse 5. Yeah, oh, you there already? 21 verse 5. 21:5, yeah. Leviticus 21:5, yeah, my bad. Sheesh. Let me give you a commandment right now, because we say thou shalt not kill, but we run around hating our brothers and sisters. You see that? Matter of fact, go give me that in 1 John first. 3:4. Go ahead.
1 John chapter 3, verse 15. Whosoever hateth his brother is a murderer.
Whosoever hateth his brother is a murderer. So just because you're not killing people physically, if you have hatred towards your brother, guess what? That automatically makes you a murderer. It makes you a murderer by default. So if you call yourself Mexican, right? And that's not what God gave you from the beginning, and then you acknowledge your brother as a Mexican, that's hate. You see what I'm saying? So, and what does that make you? It makes you goes against the commandment that you just spoke of. You see what I'm saying? So it's up to us to teach each other, because ain't nobody else gonna do it. Ain't nobody else gonna teach you that you're the greatest people that ever walked the earth. God's firstborn child. You are. The Israelites is the only nation that God have known.
That's right.
Give me that in Amos chapter 3 and 3. 3 and verse 1. Read that.
Amos chapter 3 and verse 1.
I got you.
Hear this word that the Lord hath spoken against you, O children of Israel.
Yeah.
Against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt.
Against what family? The children of Israel. He just said it. Come on.
Saying, you only have I known.
He said, you only have I known. Come on.
Of all the families of the earth.
He said, you are the only nation that he known of all the families on the earth.
That's right.
You, Daniel. What's your name, bruh? What's your name? Vernon. You hear what the Bible said? The Bible said the Israelites is the only nation that God ever knew on the face of the planet.
That's right.
Well, you know what that makes you? That makes you special, bruh. So what do you have to do? You got to stop conducting yourself as these people that rule the land. Because you're special. You're supposed to be set apart from all of that. Read.
You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
He said, you the only one that I knew. You my only child. So therefore, I'm going to punish you for your wrong. Read. Watch this. Did this happen to any other nation on the planet? Where they got their land stolen, their names taken, their culture robbed? Did this happen to anybody else? No, it didn't. Only other person it happened, the only other people it happened to is the so-called blacks. Showing you that there's no difference between the so-called black and Hispanic. You understand? So it says, you the only person that I knew on the planet, so I'm going to punish you for your iniquity. I'm going to punish you for your sin. Guess what? This is the result of that punishment. This is the result of that sin, getting put into slavery. You see what I'm saying? The Bible says that. That's what makes you so divine. What I have you holding at first? Leviticus 21 and 5. Let's get into some laws. Come on.
Leviticus chapter 21, verse 5. They shall not make baldness upon their head.
The Bible say Israelite men, we should not make baldness upon our heads. So you got hair on your head. All praise to the Most High for that. Come on.
Neither shall they shave off the corner of their beard.
Now, Daniel, what does that mean? Neither should they shave off the corners of their beard. What does that mean?
Educate me. I don't know.
That means you can, whatever you grow naturally, you have to grow. You can't cut. Give me the other one in Leviticus 19. That means you can't cut into the natural lining of your beard. That's what it say. It means keep what you see. And look at this brother. He got what he got. Look at the brother right next to him. He ain't got nothing, but that's what he can grow. He can grow nothing. You see what I'm saying? Look at this brother, and that brother, and him. Look at him. Oh man, look at that guy. You see, his don't grow none. He only gets some little chin hair. Look back this way. He only gets some little chin hair, little mustache. But you can tell by how yours is that yours grow in full. You see what I'm saying? God says this is a commandment, and if you don't keep this commandment or teach it, does that make you a murderer? Remember, murder, yes, it does. So do we really keep the commandments that we say we know? No, we don't, bruh. We don't. Read.
Leviticus 19, verse 27. Ye shall not round the corners of your beard.
Ye shall not round the corners of your head.
Neither shalt thou mar the corners of thy beard.
Neither should you mar the corners of your beard. Mar means to destroy. It's saying don't destroy the natural line in your beard. Why? Because that's your badge of manly dignity. Bible calls, how do you tell a male lion from a female lion? The mane, its beard. You're the lion. That's why lions get misconstrued these days. Men is trying to look like women, women trying to look like men. But from the beginning, it was never so. You couldn't mistake a male for a female here. You couldn't mistake a female for a male here. Why? Because we were all in line with the laws of God, which we trying to teach our people to get back to. The real love of God. Remember, the love of the God is that we keep his commandments. And his commandments are not grievous. How hard is it to grow a beard on your face? It's not hard at all. So I'm glad you married and everything. That's good. That's a good law to be keeping, because that starts a solid marriage is the foundation of a good nation. You see what I'm saying? But a majority of our people is running around humping on everybody everywhere. This is why everything is turned upside down in our communities. The women is out in the front and the men is in the back. Read what you got. Go back to go to fringes, Numbers 15. Come on.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 15, verse 38.
Naphtali, what's her name? Ask her name, Naphtali. Ask her name. Ask her name. I forgot your name, but are you Ray wife? Come here, Ray wife. You Ray wife. Come here. Yeah. Come here, Shonda. I know you. Come on over here. Come talk to your brother. Come on.
Numbers chapter 15, verse 38.
Here go another law for you, Daniel. Come on.
Speak unto the children of Israel.
Speak unto the whole nation of Israel. Read.
And bid them
and command them
that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments.
The scriptures say, bid the children of Israel that they make fringes in the borders of their garments. Now, what is fringes? It's this. You see how all of us got the fringes on the border of our garments? Yeah. Keeping that commandment. What's up, Shonda? Yeah, what's up? How you doing?
I'm good.
How you doing? No, wait. They my security.
Oh.
They security. They protect.
I was trying to give you a hug.
I'm gonna come out there and talk to you when I'm done with this. Okay. But in the meantime and in between time, look at that sign right there. I talked to you about this before. This is crazy that you just pulling up now. We talk about this before. This is my sister right here. loving my dear old loving sister. Read what you got.
Sir. Bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments.
Bible said, bid them, command them, and tell them that they make fringes in the borders of their garment. Come on.
Throughout their generations.
It says throughout your generations. What does that mean?
That means to follow through family generations.
Yep, through generation after generation after generation. Are we still generating? Hell yeah. How many kids you got?
Yeah, 4.
So you multiplied over 4 times.
Right.
So each child should be keeping that law. And guess what? Is that generation is generating gonna stop with your kids? No, they're gonna generate more, and so we're still generating in the world. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when it says throughout your generations, it means forever.
Right.
We supposed to be wearing fringes in the border of blue forever.
That's right.
Why? That's our dress code. That's who we are. That's who we be. We the Israelites that the Bible speak of.
That's right.
You got to understand that. Y'all got to see that. Our neighborhoods are trash right now because we calling ourselves blacks and Hispanics. Our daughters got 3 different baby mamas right now because we calling ourselves blacks and Hispanics. We don't know what a real marriage look like. We don't know what America teaches us that men and women are equal. Is that true? I'm coming to you with this one. I'm coming to you with this one.
I don't know. I've been married 30 years, so
I know you've been married 30 years. I love your husband. That's my guy.
I know.
You see what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, is 50-50 marriage helping or destroying? I ask it like that. A 50-50 marriage. Does it help our communities or does it destroy our communities? Is the woman supposed to be in the forefront or supporting her husband? Which one? So it's 50-50 marriages. Is it harmful or is it helpful in our communities? It's helpful. 50-50 mean we on the forefront. So if we on the forefront together, who's back there to support me? You're supposed to be a pillar in the marriage. The woman.
Who's gonna help me?
The children. You understand? Give me the order of life. Give me the order of life. I want to show you something. Because 50-50 was never, that destroyed us. That destroyed us. Because the man, if you standing on the side of me and I happen to do a trust fall, who there to catch me?
That's what he always say.
Nobody. There's nobody there to catch me if you're on the side of me.
We're not equal.
And if your kids is on the side of you and you do a trust fall, who's there to catch you? Nobody. So we mess up our whole support system. America messes up our whole support system.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.